We are back with another Conversations of Value with the incomparable Deborah Lee and your host, Jamila Moore. So let me let y'all in on a little secret. This Sunday, you may have missed it, but you have another opportunity for it. You may have missed that the incomparable Deborah Lee held a masterclass entitled I Am Enough. Listen, the reviews were raved. I don't have my notes to be out here, making sure I captured everything, but we know that lives were changed on this Sunday. And so we thought it not robbery not to give you a preview, but also to give you another opportunity to sign up to watch the masterclass for free on demand. On demand. Okay, I know this is about you and how you helped women on Sunday, but I'm going to talk about my takeaway first. Is
Oh,
that okay?
great. Absolutely. That's wonderful.
Yeah, so I think as I've been going from the masterclass each and every day, I've been thinking about how I am enough every single day. And so, like times where I may have been an over perfectionist, or I may be hard on myself, I've like stopped that almost automatically. Like, no, this is your enough for today, and stop overextending yourself. And so that was one of like the biggest impacts that it had on my life. But I'm going to pass the mic over to you to give a little synopsis of why we need to be thinking through why we are enough.
Because it's such a hindrance when we don't believe in ourselves. And again, I shared a little bit on Sunday. Some of us have come from environments where we have not been accepted, we've not been acknowledged, we've not been affirmed. And the word even talks about David. He encouraged himself in the Lord. So as we unpack the word, as we study, as we are stewarded, hopefully from good leadership, have good friends in our inner circle that are ready and willing and secure enough to acknowledge that we're doing some things well, that we're doing some things that they're not capable of doing. It builds confidence, it builds confidence, it builds esteem. I was taught it's not self esteem, it's his esteem. So
Mm.
the hope is, yes, that we're leaning into his esteem. We're leaning into what he's already said about us. Even the mother that's at home taking care of her children, when the word declares that she's a Proverbs 31 woman, that there is no comparison to who she is, and that her children rise up and call her blessed because they're so grateful that she's home with them. Or the woman that's a CEO that has to make such preparations in the evening and then again in the morning to make sure her children are stewarded well, to go off to school with a good attitude and a good mindset, to come home and rejoice about how their day went and share what they've learned. And so when we have created those spaces, we can go out from our bed, so to speak, every morning with that assurance that, you know what? Today I'm enough. Today I believe that I am seasoned in such a way that I can accomplish whatever I need to do. And my enoughness is connected to your enoughness. So even in this space, there are things I don't have a skill set for. And so we lean on each other, and iron sharpens iron, and we've come together in this space to show others how this is done because the power of agreement is a mighty force.
So that's deep. His esteem, I'm going to come back to his esteem, but then I want us to sit here with the thought that you talked about, iron sharpening iron, and I'm enough because you are enough. And the reality is many of us are on a journey or in relationship with people where some of us may be progressing in our enoughness faster than others. And so how does one manage if they're further along on their journey in living in his esteem and knowing that they are enough, and then they have to manage relationships with people who may not think they are enough at all?
Well, I think one of the things we have to always be mindful of, no matter who's in our life, everyone has value. And
Mm-hmm.
so we cannot be dismissive. We
Mm-hmm.
cannot discard another person. It's always important to know the value of a person. Just like I don't play chess, I don't have the ability to play chess. And so, but each piece has significant value. Each piece has moves that they are, assigned to make. And so it's the same way with people in our lives. And it's good when we take the time to make that assessment, that good assessment, that good judgment of who's in our lives and what role do they play. So even in that, I always say we're judging the situation and not the person. So we're taking account for ourselves as accountability, and we're taking an account, hopefully, for the people that are in our lives in terms of where they may best serve us. And so, even in understanding that, we get to know if there's a gap somewhere or if there's not enough strength. Let's say we don't have enough strength or information financially, then we've got to know who's in our circle or who we need to reach out to give us that financial advice and support so that we can become solvent. And the hope is so that we can make our way towards out of debt, make our way towards a greater credit score, whatever the issue may be, that we have the eyes and we have God's ears, our ears in tune to his spirit to guess what? How do I manage this better than the results that I'm getting? Because we are responsible for the outcome.
Mm. Someone should be typing in the chat right now. We are responsible for the outcome. And so many times, you know, especially with, I'm going to say, high powered women, like successful women, entrepreneurs, your organizational leaders, and things of that nature, there is a tendency to disclaim any responsibility for the results simply because I'm right.
Mm,
And what I'm hearing you say is in relationship, we don't worry about right, we worry about a result that he's pleased with.
most definitely. Most definitely. Because being right can get in the way. I can remember many years ago going to bed one evening and I was right about something. And when I woke up, the Lord said, and because there's more to it than that. There's much more to it than that. And so, and even in sharing our rightness with someone, I think there's a level of humility that we can come into a conversation with when we're able to bring that offering to say, I believe I'm right about this, but I'm open to hear your feedback. Because there may be something or an experience that you've had or something that you've learned that I haven't gotten to yet. And so even though I think I'm right, there's blind spots possibly. And we need people in our inner circle. We've heard it before. Who can see your blind spots? Who's been out in front of you, not because they're better than you, but because they've experienced more than maybe you have in a particular area. So, who's in my inner circle that I'm willing to, number one, listen to, and who may have to, I want to say, double back and talk to us and tell us something that maybe is not working for us. So we got to be able to be good listeners. And again, it's feedback. I don't go into the lane of constructive criticism. I think criticism is criticism. Feedback. And sometimes we have to approach the conversation, ask somebody because we see something that might help them better than what they're experiencing. May
Mhm.
I offer you some feedback? Again, that ties right into what we talked about Sunday as well, the gift of confrontation. You're gifting someone with information. Your hope is that they're open to the gift, whatever the gift is, because you want to see them do better. Because if you're doing better, I heard probably 30 years ago, then it doesn't take a busload of us to get you out of a ditch.
That's interesting. That's interesting. I love that one. Another thing that kind of stuck out to me when you were just talking is, you know, because you start to grow you have to be mindful of getting to a place of arrogance
Mm-hmm.
because of your growth. So I can see a world where someone's like, well, I've gotten therapy, I've done this, I've done that, I am enough. Oh, you haven't started on your journey, you are not enough. And one of the things you kind of spoke about on Sunday that I want you to kind of unpack a little bit more is that empathy piece in relationships that we sometimes miss because we lack perspective.
Absolutely. Because again, it comes from being able to listen. And I don't care where we may think we are, we can never have enough humility. I say there's a humble bar, just like they hold it and you go under the limbo stick. Well, guess what? Every day when I get up, you can trust and believe the limbo stick has been lowered. So, whatever humility I had today, I'm going to need more for tomorrow. And my hope is as I grow through today, that I've gained the humility so that I can make it to a different level of being able to listen and to hear what I don't know yet, because no one knows everything. The person that knows everything can't be taught anything because they can't hear. And compassion. You can never have enough compassion. When we talk about empathy, there is a jar. My compassion jar is not full. It will never get full. It's another area where we're consistently open, hopefully, and willing to continue to grow is in compassion. And so we've got to take time to hear where another person is. And it doesn't mean that you have to be a trained therapist or coach. Just the common connection with another person who's saying that they're wounded or they're not clear about something, to have that conversation and to hopefully create what we call a win-win situation, that we can walk away from the conversation and we're both okay with the outcome because we were okay with whatever adjustments that hopefully we had to make, that we're okay, because that's what love is about. Giving is, we think of it often as receiving, but love is about what can I give. We don't want to go into situations with the mindset of what am I going to get, because I do believe that we show up as the gifts that we are. I'm enough. My life is an apology, because every day that I get up is an apology for the day before, because I
Mhm.
decided that I wanted to get up and do better the next day. And I'm a gift wherever I show up. So if we believe that we're showing up as a gift, then the hope is that we both leave with the reward.
Listen, so one, I hope they took down I am enough is about me being a gift. But we are so aligned that I was in my head saying, if we could summarize what this is about I am enough is knowing your role in serving
Amen.
and serving you, serving your community, and serving God.
Yes. 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 I
The
mean,
opposite order of what I said it God, you, and the community,
right. The,
just like it's stated in the Bible.
right. The joy of that. The
Hmm.
joy of that, the joy of knowing that wherever you've been today, that you made a difference.
Listen,
Because
they,
when your head hits the pillow at night, my hope is that there's a big smile on your face, because things were not perfect. Things went well, and you're grateful for the deposits that you got to make today.
yeah. Listen, I know that anyone who listens to this and did not attend Sunday's masterclass is likely heading to the website right now. I am DeborahLee.com. I am DeborahLee.com. You will receive free 7-day access to the masterclass, where there was so much value given that it was a shame that it was not paid. But she shows up because she is a gift. Any last words on I am enough?
Just to hope that we walk in the belief of that, even when things don't feel the way we want them to feel. I do know that it's not in the feelings as much as it's in the knowing.
Y'all heard it here first. Get to the website. Make sure you are thinking through how you are enough and what that means to you and your community. Visit IamDeborahLee.com for more information. It's been great, y'all.
Blessings, everyone.